want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Welcome back to Zero Dark 30 with John on the Prepared Mind channel, folks. There is out there an incredible amount of desire for power and control. And the only way, folks, for evil to win is for good men to do nothing. And that's just what we've seen out of the Republican Party as a collective unit in Washington, D.C., is for them to really do nothing. Do nothing. Now listen, the way to respond to tyrants, to totalitarianism, is to say no. That's it. Now, what follows after that is up to the government, is up to us. We all get to make our independent little decisions. But the word no, pretty sure I remember all of the Democrats and feminists saying no means no. Pretty sure I heard that. No means no. And let's see, if I can make choices for my body in medical terms, I think I can make choices for my body in every other fucking term as well. So once again, I'll use their logic, which isn't really logic, but I can use their argument just as well as they can. Now, what is going on in the world? There is a massive, massive push for totalitarian control. Just this weekend, and some of this was happening when we did Zero Dark 30, is Israel has gone into Al Jazeera's headquarters, and I made a point of discussing Al Jazeera last week. But Israel sent the military in, the IDF, to Al Jazeera, raided their offices, and said, you guys, you've got whatever the number is, 30 days, 40 days to get the hell out of the country, period, done. No more of your shit, right? The accusation being that Al Jazeera is a bunch of anti-Israeli propaganda. So Israel is kicking out those who are against the country, who are against the ideals of Israel. Interesting, right? They're protecting their country. Here in America, the scream and clamoring is for silencing the people, not foreign media sources, but silencing me and you. They are screaming for destroying America. They are anti-American. The government is anti-American. It's being restrained. What's left of the Constitution is restraining them. Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom to think, freedom to be, freedom to live, freedom to breathe, freedom to act, to move, to conduct business, to acquire wealth. All of those things. Right? Freedom. Well, our government's against us. In Spain, the leftist, that's right, folks, the leftist socialist government of Spain, they are now cracking down on their media. Just announced they're going to crack down on their media. They want to silence them. Not Al Jazeera, not some foreign thing. They want to silence their media. They want to control the media. They want to determine what is and is not said. State-run media is not media. State-run media is indoctrination. State-run media is control. It is brainwashing. It is awful. It is the predecessor to tyranny and mass murder when there is no freedom of speech. Look what's happening in England. People are being locked up. When your freedoms are gone, people get locked up. Look at New Zealand, look at Australia, look at England, look at Canada, and yes, even our country. They want to lock us up. Let's move a little bit further in the thinking process here and examine the United Nations. The United Nations has been pushing for total control. They have a new set of plans, and those plans are to control us, to tell us what to do, to stop free speech, to make the United Nations sovereign in every decision made around the world, and that our, shall we say, local governance is merely in place to administrate the new United Nations rules. Now, they tried that shit with the World Health Organization. They tried it. They tried saying, if we declare there's an emergency, you have to surrender all sovereignty and obey us. To my knowledge, the United States government has not signed that on our behalf. Now, folks, if my lawyer started signing stupid shit like that, would I keep them on? I'd fire their fucking asses. I'm like, dude, I am not signing that, and you're not signing it on my behalf. No fucking way. Why hasn't the United States government told the United Nations to shove it in their ass? Oh, that's right, because we have leftists, we have statists, we have socialists and anti-American agents overflowing in the United States of America's government. They are a bad steward for our country, and they are bad representatives for us. You can say legal representatives for us because they're making legal decisions on our behalf. It's going to get nasty, folks. It is going to get absolutely nasty. Yeah, the UN is back, bigger than shit. And the call has been, whether you're aware of it or not, to get rid of the UN for decades, going back into the 70s, back before all of these, well, let's just call them facts detrimental to the beliefs and desires of the government and media, what they call conspiracy theories. It used to be only those craziest of crazy right-wing guys. Only those guys. Only those guys, right? Like, wanted to get rid of the United Nations. You know, they saw the United Nations as a threat to our sovereignty as people, our sovereignty as a collective people, our sovereignty as a nation. And they fought it then, and they couldn't get rid of it, of course. The government, our actual representatives, most of whom are lawyers, they know what's going on. They understand the trampling of our rights. If we don't talk, if we don't share, if we can't communicate, then we can't fight them very well. And they know that. They realize that. Every time they do something illegal, and I'm talking about the government, we see it, we talk about it, and we take action to fight back. And they don't like that. They don't want us fighting back. So they've now realized that the biggest fight of all is not about guns. Guns are illegal most of the world, around most of the world. Yet, when the people need to fight back against the government, they seem to find the guns. It's funny how that works. Guns aren't their problem. The control of information is the problem. Guns are the tool used to eliminate the enemy once communication is established and the people no longer choose to live under government rule. When government has become abusive. Well, government is becoming very abusive. Very, very abusive. No doubts, folks. No doubts. Very abusive. And they realize they can't take the guns. They'll talk about them. They'll keep us distracted. They'll piss us off. They'll do everything they can to try and take the guns. But the idea of, yeah, you can have it when you can pry it from my cold, dead fingers, that still stands. I think that saying, that expression, of Americanism needs to continue. But I think more importantly, we're seeing now communication, media, speech, thought. Without thought, you're not going to want to fight them. So they need to control the thought. They need to wimp us down. That's right. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're pushing for, is to turn the whole world into a bunch of soy boy cowards. And there's so much more that's bad, folks. I sure hope you're prepared. This week is going to be a doozy. God bless America. Semper Fi.